Kathy.
Thank you very much. Thank you for this press conference. My name is Julia Arana. I'm from South America, from Comunicarse, Chile. I have two questions. The first one is, can you give me more details about this proposed bill about a carbon tax, $20 carbon tax you may propose? I need some more details on how optimistic you are to prove this proposed bill. And the second question is, we were expecting to hear in former President Obama some mention about a $100 billion goal for finance. We didn't hear. We also didn't hear in actual President Biden. Can you tell us what are you doing to push forward to complete this goal? Thank you very much.
I think I'll ask Mr. Blumenauer to address the first part, and then I can address the climate financing.
In the short term, it's going to be very difficult to have a carbon fee or a carbon tax in the United States. We continue to have that on the table. We're looking at other areas. For example, a carbon border adjustment, which is gaining more attention and momentum. We've had conversations with our friends in the European Union who are moving forward. There are alternate ways to be able to do that. In the short term, because of the dynamic we're facing in the Senate, that's not going to happen. In the long term, it will, and there are these other mechanisms like the carbon border adjustment that we can proceed with.
And on the international climate financing, President Biden announced in the U.S. International Climate Finance Plan during the Leaders Summit in April. This includes the administration's intent to double by 2024 the annual public climate finance to developing countries relative to the average level during the second half of the Obama-Biden administration. So what we'd like to do, have U.S. agencies working with development partners, prioritizing climate in public investments, enhanced technical assistance, and long-term capacity, align support with country needs and priorities, and boost investments in adaptation and resilience. The U.S. Agency for International Development, USAID, will release a new climate change strategy. That's imminent here at the COP, and the U.S. International Development Finance Corporation will update its development strategy to not only include climate for the first time, but also make investments in climate mitigation and adaptation a top priority. What you're seeing here is building back after the previous administration had taken us out of the Paris Climate Agreement, but also took us out of our commitments that we've made under previous administrations to support international climate goals. So we're building back better in the Congress on clean energy, but we also have a responsibility to build back better when it comes to keeping our commitments to the international community, and we intend to do that with President Biden.
Madam Chair, if I may, on that, Mr. Espaillat, you go first.
Hay un compromiso con la administración Biden de llenar el vacío que existió por los últimos 4 años con referencia al financiamiento y entendemos de que los Estados Unidos está atrasado en los pagos para llegar a los $1,000 millones de dólares, pero hay un compromiso y una voluntad política para llegar ahí.
If I may add to what our colleagues have said, Mr. Greg Meeks is here with us this morning, the chair of the Foreign Affairs Committee, and he has legislation that is ripened and ready to come to the floor to address our responsibilities for sharing resources, financial, technological, and so many ways to help other countries. That is our moral responsibility to do so. I'm completely unaware of any deal on carbon tax, but I do know that it is something that is talked about and may be an option for the future. It is not in our legislation now. Our legislation is predicated on making everyone pay his or her fair share.